what are some ways we can actually design our instruction that would promote curiosity in the classroom? First, prompt and provoke questions in the classroom. Think like Rod Serling. Do you know who Rod Serling is? Who is he? Yes, now I come from upstate New York originally. I grew up in Binghamton. And my friends who are participating in Syracuse will echo this sentiment that we who live or grew up in central upstate New York, we're a very humble people. We don't make very many claims to fame, but we do claim Rod Serling. Because Rod Serling had this incredible ability. If you think about how a Twilight Zone episode starts, it'll start with something like a ship at sea, right? And they pick up some strange noise on sonar. And they're like, what is that noise? We don't know what's making that noise. And then Rod Serling comes on, and he says something like this. The people on this boat are about to send a man down to find out who or what is making that noise. What they don't know is that this ship and everyone on it is headed straight into the Twilight Zone. Commercial. And we're all sitting there going, what? Who's down there? Who do they send? Who's the poor guy they send down? Does he get to come back up? So many questions. So many questions. He keeps us right there in the palm of his hands because he starts to raise questions in our minds. So think like Rod Serling. I love this quote recently from Brian Grazer, who's a film producer. He said, storytelling and curiosity are natural allies. Curiosity is what drives human beings out into the world every day to ask questions about what's going on around them, about people and why they behave they do. Storytelling is a report from the front lines of curiosity. So start to tell your students a story related to whatever it is you're going to teach and leave them off at a good commercial break moment. And let them start asking the questions. Another way to prompt questions in students is to introduce an element of mystery. Bring in an element of mystery. I have a good friend, Judy Willis. She was a neurologist who decided that neurology was not challenging enough, so she became a middle school math teacher. True story. And so she's a great source for connecting the worlds of neuroscience and education. But when she was teaching middle school math, she came across a lesson that she was going to be teaching the next day, and she just sat there and thought, I do not know how to get middle schoolers interested in this. And she thought, and she thought, and she thought, and she could not come up with a good way to gain their interest. So she left for the day, had to stop by the grocery store on the way home. And while walking through the grocery store, she noticed that you can buy many radishes for very little money. So she bought a few bunches of radishes. And the next morning, when the students came into her math class, they found a radish on each of their desks. And they picked up the radish, and they first said, Dr. Willis, what is this? Oh, it's a radish. Why do we have it? Just wait, you'll see. What has she done? Questions. Questions. This story gets even better. Because she goes through and she teaches the entire lesson. And she's getting ready to start giving them their practice assignments. And one student raises his hand and says, wait, Dr. Willis, why do we have these radishes? Dr. Willis will tell you she had no idea why they had radishes. But she's a very, very smart woman and a very good teacher. And so she said to them, what do you think it has to do with today's math lesson? And they started coming up with answers. They started associating ideas and concepts from that day's math lesson with those radishes. They were engaged in the very kind of thinking that we know helps to construct understanding. And she got them there. She got them there through curiosity. A radish on the desk. Monday morning. Radishes on the desk.